folks? June 2000 here, coming at you with a slight rant. Not a huge fucking rant like Halloween Ends, but I'm gonna go with a little tiny rant on Halloween 2. It's not a piece of shit. It's not a fucking bullshit movie. Not a dumb shit movie. But I still think this movie kind of is. It's a fucking mess. I'll just say that. It's just a mess. I would have to admit, the poster of this movie right here is pretty cool of Halloween 2. Where he's like he's in like the scenery is like dark gray clouds, rain, and it's raining around him. He has a big knife and he's like grabbing someone's hair through the grass. That's a I have to admit that is a pretty cool poster. But the movie it's kind of a mess. It starts off where what happened at the end of the first movie. Laurie is wandering by herself, all bloodied and fucked up after she shot Michael Myers. She is stopped and seen by Sheriff Brackett. That's played again by Brad Dourif, and she keeps saying that I shot him, I killed Michael Myers, and she gets transported into a ambulance, and she's getting hysterical and crazy. They're taking Loomis and Michael Myers' dead body to the morgue. Of course, one of the morgue people is played by Richard Brake, who would work on with Rob Zombie in Three from Hell and 31. I think that was the first time Richard Brake was in a Rob Zombie movie. So that's the first time. But he's known in this movie to be the character that just says fuck, 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 fuck. Of course, that scene is always a meme in a lot of worse, like you want to like, because they do a lot of memes, like one of the worst horror movie sequels. It's one of those memes where he's just saying fuck in his dialogue. Fuck, 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 fuck. Until like, it's because the reason why that scene happens is because Richard Brake and this other ambulance dude is like talking about wanting to fuck dead corpse. Going on necrophilia, all that shit. But one leads to another. When they're talking about their dumb shit discussion, they hit a cow, and Richard Brake is like the one who's yelling, "Cow, cow!" They accidentally ran into a cow, and it burst into a million pieces. Like the same way how those dumbasses got when they crashed into a big old cow in Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. But of course, that's when you get to the part where Richard Brake is known with the iconic moment where he's saying fuck in his dialogue. Fuck, 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 fuck. Of course, he's going like this, like moving his teeth because his teeth got fucked up in the crash. But he's like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And it goes on for like a fucking minute. And I'm like, it's really laughably bad. And of course, he gets attacked by Michael Myers. Michael Myers cuts his head off really brutally and gruesomely. I'll just say that. There's another pro that I will give the movie credit. It is a brutal fucking film. It goes more brutal than the first one. But I still like the first movie better. And I'll get to some of the cons and the pros. But of course, that's one of the pros is where it does have some pretty good practical, and it goes really more extreme and violent in this movie. But of course, he cuts Richard Brake's head off with the big old sharp. I think it was a knife, or I don't even know if he had a knife or not. But I think it was just a glass piece he just picked up from the floor and just cut his head off. But one leads to another. He gets to the hospital and starts attacking some of the nurse and orderly people that are there. Because she's like sedated, but she gets up and she sees Annie all sedated and sleeping from her injuries. And of course, Michael attacks one of the nurses, who's played by an Academy Award actress, Octavia Spencer. And I think that was like the same time she won Best Actress for that movie, The Help. which is it's a pretty good movie. But yeah, that actress, she would win an Academy Award winning. And of course, Tyler Mane was always saying that that's the only time that I was playing a slasher killer that killed an Academy Award winner. And that's insane because Octavia Spencer is a pretty good actress, and she would go on to do another horror movie by Bumhouse, which was called Ma, which was a pretty solid movie. I did like that movie. It wasn't that bad. I know a lot of people hated that movie, but it wasn't that bad of a movie. Of course, the kids were stupid to follow her as a stranger, to like believe in her. Oh, let's go partying and shit. But yeah, that's a pretty good movie. I did like her in that movie. She played a pretty good villain in that one. It is a pretty decent, solid horror thriller film. But yeah, Michael Myers kills Octavia Spencer, an Academy Award winning actress, playing this nurse, and of course, he has his presence. It's weird how he attacks her first, because like Laurie's like asking her, like saying, "Nurse, are you there?" And then she turns around and she has like this big cut on her face, like it's like already coming out, like dripping on her face. Like that's just a weird way. Like how did when she's been like trying to crawl through the floor, and if she would have seen Laurie, she would have been like crying on the floor. Like that was like the weird, like that part was weird. But one leads to another. Michael Myers makes his demonic presence, and he grabs Octavia Spencer's character as a nurse, grabs her by the back, and just brutally stabs her in the back, going, "Ugh, ugh," like just stabbing like a shitload of times, like pretty much like 35 times brutally. And of course, you get the big old grunt noise by Michael Myers. Because, of course, he made that grunt noise in the prequel stuff when he was a kid. When he was killing, like, the Judah's boyfriend. He made that weird grunting noise. But, of course, Michael does this grunting noise when he kills the nurse lady that's played by Octavia Spencer. Down, like, pretty much, like, 35 times brutally. Like, stabbing the shit out of her back. And going, "Ugh, ugh." Of course, you get, like, close-up shots of the brutal stabs. Like that's how you be brutal. Like that is some brutal shit. I have to admit that was a brutal kill. One leads another. Laurie's trying to like get away from Michael. Sees that there's another nurse that's killed with her eyes cut out. Like Michael Myers went all Jacob's Goodnight on this nurse that was like a dead body that was hanging through like the hallway basement area. One leads another. She gets out, and it's raining, and she meets up with the security guard named Buddy. And Buddy gets killed by Michael Myers, and then Michael Myers wants to get her. And one leads another. It's her dream, and it's a fucking dream. It would like the hospital thing never happened. It was just all a dream, and it's like 2 years later. She's living with Annie and her dad, and of course she reads Dr. Loomis's bullshit book, and of course Dr. Loomis, he is such an asshole in this movie. Of course, Loomis, he wasn't first. The first time he was an asshole, of course, he was seen as an asshole in the fifth movie. I did not like that, but he's more of a major dipshit in this movie. He's so unlikable in this film. He's just like a selfish prick where he just cares about his money and his bullshit book being sold. That's it. He doesn't care about anybody and their feelings. Doesn't care about Laurie Strode's feeling, all that shit. So like, yeah, he's such a jackass character. Of course, you get the character Laurie Strode. She's kind of a bit whiny and annoying in the movie. She's more annoying in the director's cut because I have seen the director's cut, and gosh dang, that version's rough to watch and see Laurie Strode be so annoying and obnoxious. Where in the theatrical cut cuts down on that bullshit. Because I could watch the theatrical cut because that one's easier and even has a better ending in my opinion. I hated the director's cut ending because there's two different endings, which I'll explain from one to another. Of course, she deals with her problems. I know some people may say like, "Oh, she's just dealing with why are you hating the director's cut?" It's because it's so annoying. It makes the movie not give a fuck about this character. It just makes her so unlikable. But she's less unlikable in the theatrical version. It's like, okay. But to me, I would have preferred to just have Brackett as the main character where he wants to go after Michael Myers. And even have that scene where he attacks um, Annie and then fucks him up. And he has that really good acting performance where he's like screaming and saying, no. And of course, him going after Michael Myers in a brutal fight. That would be such a badass ending. And of course, Loomis could get killed in the crossfire, that dipshit. That would be satisfying. And then Brackett has the final blow to kill Michael Myers off really brutally. That would have been a better movie, in my opinion. I think that would have been made people appreciate the movie better if it was that. If Brackett was the lead character, it would have been a better movie. Of course, Laurie has all this weird shit of dreaming. White horses randomly put into the movie. I don't care about the white horse. It's a bunch of crap, in my opinion, and it's kind of stupid. And you get all these flashy dream scenes that don't make any sense. It's just so weird and random. Laurie dreaming about her being Michael Myers with the clown mask and duct taping Annie and slicing her throat, like how Michael Myers killed Ronnie in the beginning of the first movie. That was just bizarre, just fucking weird, and it didn't make no damn sense at all. But all in all, the movie just has that crap throughout, and one reason or another, Laurie has other friends because she doesn't really give a shit about Annie that much, so she pretty much just hangs out with her shitty friends that she works with, and one leads to another. People get killed. Of course, this dude at the Red Rabbit stripper place that Michael Myers' mom used to work at. Michael Myers encounters that dude, but before that, he kills this dude. I forgot his name, Jeffrey something. But he's like that dude that looks like he's like out of the 70s or something. And he was like in 31, and he was in 3 from Hell, and he was also in The Lords of Salem. I forgot his name, Jeff something, Jeff Daniels. I think Jeff Daniels or something. But he plays like 2 characters in this movie. But I don't like he plays like a Halloween host character that's in the Halloween party scene. But he plays this character that's like a bouncer or something that works with Daniel Roebuck's character. That's like the stripper guy that owns the place. And what's it called? Was it Jeff Daniels? Like he plays like this character, a bouncer for the stripper place, and he encounters Michael Myers. And then he gets really brutally killed by Michael Myers by getting his face stomped. Like, you imagine that scene with Dr. Sartain from the 2018 film where Michael Myers just caved him with the foot and it went squashed like a watermelon. Take that scene more extreme where Michael Myers just grabs the dude, pins him to the floor, stomps the fuck out of his face until it goes flat like a pancake. He keeps stopping it until like it goes through the mud. I think there was mud around it. So, like he just went boom at it, and you get this brutal graphic shot of him stomping his face. That's a brutal kill too. Like the movie does have brutal kills. It goes ultra violent, and of course he kills Daniel Roebuck's character, who's like the stripper place owner, breaking his arm and slicing his throat up. And of course, killing the dumbass bimbo lady that's all butt ass naked and wanted to screw Daniel Roebuck's character. She gets killed by Michael Myers, like just jamming her face up to the glass, like fucking that skank up. And then one leads to another. Michael Myers gets his mask ripped off. That because she's the one that ripped half the mask, so that's why he has half of that face shown because half of the mask is ripped. And then scenes later, Michael Myers is in a field. He gets stopped by these 2 hillbillies, and I think I forgot the guy with the big beard and the big hair. I forgot his name. He's in a few movies. I know he was in Son of Anarchy, but I know the other actor is Dwayne Whitaker. He was in From Dusk Till Dawn 2, playing the character Luther, and he was Maynard in Pulp Fiction, and he also appeared in Puppet Master 5. When Lisa and they beat the shit out of Michael Myers because they told him like I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you if you keep coming here. What the fuck are you doing here? I asked you a fucking question, and boom, they start beating the shit out of him until Michael noticed that they left and they're all cocky about it. And then Michael just puts the shape back mask back on and fucks him up. He grabs the dude, the big hair dude with a big beard. I forgot his name, damn. But he's a recognizable actor. But he grabs him and throws him on top of the deer antlers because there's a dead deer antlers on top of the hood of the car. Stabs his gut through it really brutally, and then he grabs Dwayne Whitaker's character, grabbing his knife and slashing through his eyes, cutting through his eyes and just slashing through it like chop, chop, chop. And of course, he grabs the other girl that's like whipped them, who was like the big beard dude's daughter. Michael grabs her and then boom, stabs her brutally. That's a really badass scene. I would just say that's my favorite part of the movie because it is a really well shot scene, and it's a badass scene where Michael gets beat up, and then after they beat him up, you get that really good shot where he's like putting his mask on. That's really fucking cool. I have to admit that was easily the best scene in the movie. Out of all the scenes, because I know it does have brutal kills, but I would say the best part of the movie was that field scene where he killed the two hillbillies and their one of the hillbillies' daughter. That was that field scene was definitely the best scene in the movie and well shot. Like it was definitely a badass scene. One of these and the other, Laurie's with her some friends, and one of the friends gets killed, and then Laurie's going home because she gets nightmares about Michael Myers and her mom and stuff, and little Michael Myers for some reason. And of course, the little kid Michael Myers, the actor that played him in the first movie, it was recast with a different kid actor because the kid actor that played him in the first movie kind of like grew it out and didn't look like what he was in the first movie because he kind of like grew up a bit, like he kind of like what do they call it? In he matured a little bit, like he kind of grew up a bit, and he had like a deeper voice. So like they recast him with a different kid actor with that character, like the younger version of Michael, who's seen in the visions and stuff. Of course, they go to the house and then they notice something happened. A few cops are dead. Annie has been attacked and murdered by Michael Myers. And Michael Myers comes and kills her friend, and he has a foot chase with Laurie. One leads to another. She gets into a car that she's asking for help and driving away. And that actor is Sean Whalen from Wes Craven's People on the Stairs, Python 2000, which I just reviewed. He played the asshole Lewis. He was in Twister. He was in Suicide King. He was in a lot of movies. Sean Whalen has popped in a lot of movies. He would even be in Three from Hell with, and that's another Rob Zombie movie that he would appear in. But of course, this was one of the small parts he appeared in as a passion as a passenger car dude that went by and helps out Laurie. But one leads to another. Michael Myers stops him and tips over the car and kills Sean Whalen's character, and then goes after Laurie Strode, and she gets knocked out by Michael and taken into this abandoned house that Michael keeps going to and seeing his dead mom a lot. And Laurie Strode keeps getting these visions, and then one leads to another. Sheriff Brackett comes through with a house, sees this mayhem of murdering cops that are murdered, and what fucks him up is his daughter. When he sees her dead, naked body, all butchered and murdered by Michael Myers, A lot of people made fun of Brad Dourif's acting. Like, why the fuck were they making fun of his performance? He wasn't doing a bad performance. He was just going like this, like, oh god, no, no, god, no. That was great acting by Brad Dourif. That dude can do an Oscar fucking performance. And he did that shit in the fucking Exorcist 3. And you're gonna say that dude doesn't deserve an Oscar nomination, because that's an Oscar nomination. And I see people that are nominated for Oscars. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, these people that are Oscar nominations? No. Brad Dourif is more of an Oscar nomination. He knows how to act. He's a criminally underrated actor. I know a lot of people think that he's typecast because he's Chucky. He's the voice of Chucky. No, he can act. He could do an Oscar-winning performance. Even him in Graveyard Shift, that was an Oscar-winning performance. But that was an Oscar-winning performance that he did in this movie. I wish he was the main character of this movie. But that was really good breakdown reaction by Brad Dourif. Like, that was some real acting shit right there. And of course, Loomis is such an asshole. He's trying to save his own ass, like trying to have his own shitty arc, because he sees in new coverage that the police are noticing Michael Myers is keeping Laurie Strode hostage in this abandoned house that's broken in half, and the police are surrounding him, the house area. Loomis sees this shit because Loomis made the mistake, and like, oh, this is my fault, even though he's been a prick throughout the movie and treating everybody like dirt. One leads to another. He goes there, tries to make amends. Brackett punches him in the face and calls him a piece of shit because he wrote this bullshit book about Michael Myers and he made everything bad. Like, he wants to fucking murder Loomis for it. But one leads to another. Loomis tries to be a chicken shit. Oh, I'll take care of it. Let me go. And he just runs through the scene and gets to the house and tries to reason with Michael. And he sees Laurie's like getting thrashed and hold, because in the vision she's like getting hold by the not mini, but like the younger version of Michael Myers is like holding her from her arms, like holding her down. Like, he's, even though Loomis doesn't see it, it thinks that she's just doing it in her own head. And they see their mom, Sherry Musan, that played again by Sherry Musavi, so they could get her in the movie. She's like playing the ghost character, the ghost version of the mom that they see in the visions. And of course, Loomis is like saying, Laurie, just stop it, it's in your head, knock it off, stop it. And one needs another. Boom! Michael grabs him and then starts stabbing him with the knife, fucking his face up, even going through his head, just stabbing through it. And you see this brain matter, like it caved in, and the skull caved in, and you see this brain just stabs the shit out of like gut meat of the brain. And of course, Michael gets shot in the side by a sniper on the shoulder, and then that knocks out Laurie out of the conscious of the little Michael Myers holding her. Now he's not holding her no more. Now she's free. One leads to another. Laurie grabs the knife, stabs the shit out of Michael Myers, and boom, kills him with stabbing him through like the chest and the neck and stabbing him for good, killing the character off. She gets out wearing the Michael Myers mask that's all half torn, and of course you get, which I actually did like this part of the ending, where she wears the mask and she kneels down, and it kind of like weirds out Brackett, like, what the fuck? And then you kind of hear like the Laurie theme song going, doon, doon, doo, 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 doon, doon, doon. That was actually a well done scene. I did like that part. That was actually a pretty cool scene. It even fit that with that Laurie theme song, like, doon, doon, doon. Like, a lot of emotion was in that scene. I actually like the theatrical ending better, and of course, she gets into a psych. psychiatric facility, and she starts seeing the vision of her dead mom, and that's played by Sarah Moon Zombie, and she's walking with the white horse and shit. And she smiles, and that ends the movie where you get all the found, you get all the footage of all the crime pictures of all the victims that Michael left from the first and second movie. And one leads to another. That's the end of the movie. And of course, there was a shitty director's cut ending where it was different. After Loomis starts yelling at Laurie, "Stop it, stop it!" The different ending is where in the director's cut, Michael breaks through the. He grabs Loomis and they break through the wall of the abandoned house. And then Michael's not wearing the mask. I think he takes the mask off and Michael yells, "Die!" And then boom, stabs my Loomis, and then he gets shot by 1,000 bullets by the cops. And of course, Laurie tries to like grab the knife, and I don't know what she was doing. She was gonna stab something, but somebody shot her, and she gets shot in the crossfire. And there's like a theory, like when Loomis and Laurie and Michael are standing, laying dead on the floor, it's like a symbol of the thorn. It's like supposed to reference like the thorn symbol from part 6, which is kind of interesting. But that ending was kind of shitty. Like seeing Michael yell, die, and speak. That was kind of dumb. Now I prefer the theatrical ending where it's more violent, where Loomis gets kissed, come up, and he gets a brutal kill, and and Laurie kills Michael, and then you get a Laurie theme song at the end, and that's pretty cool. I like that theatrical ending better. Fuck the director's cut. I would say my cons with the movie. The movie is a mess. It does have all this weird visually dream sequence that are so really not that great to see. It has a lot of strobing fucking lights to it that just kind of irritates my eyes to watch. And the white horse was kind of dumb to show. Like, what the fuck was the purpose of the white horse to be in this damn movie? And of course, Laurie Strode, the character is a bit less annoying in this movie, but she still kind of sucks in the movie. Taylor Compton, I did like her in the first movie, but she kind of sucked in the second movie. I kind of wish it was just Bracken and Annie in the movie where, you know what, just have Bracken take revenge on Michael Myers and killing him, kicking ass, taking on names like a motherfucker. And yeah, that would have been a better movie. But yeah, that's Halloween 2. And yeah, that's my pros and cons. I would just say it's a mess of a movie. I'm not really ranting or ranting or just being frustrated or just hating on this bullshit. I still think the movie's just I'll just say the movie's just a fucking mess. That's it. Because I'll just say the pros, I did like the kills. I did like the field scene when he kills those two rednecks and then one of the rednecks' daughters in the field scene. That's a badass scene. I do like that scene. And there's a lot of brutal kills that are vicious and brutal as fuck. I have to admit, the kills are brutal and violent. Definitely the violent killings and carnage out of the series. But yeah, that's my rant review of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, folks. Not a piece of straight up piece of shit, but still a really fucking messy movie to watch. But still a pretty cool poster. Gotta admit, the poster is pretty damn cool. But on I would still say it is watchable for some of the kills, but it's still a messy movie to watch. Yeah. That's my rant review of Halloween 2, folks. Hit the like, subscribe, and take care, folks. Bye bye.